Today on What Went Wrong, we talk about the shit you go through trying to find a good location. Hi, I'm Brett Mauser, and I've shot over 40 feature films, and one of the hardest things to do is find the perfect location. Today, to use as some examples of that, I'm going, and the things that I've done to change locations, to get different locations. We're going to talk about one of our films from 1997, Blue Moon.
Oh, yeah. January 97.
Yes. I remember some little behind the scenes tips on that was how I suckered you and Scott not only into acting in the movie, but also helping me move.
Helping you move. You conniving bastard. Yeah, it was. That was fun.
Now this was a film I rented an SVHS camcorder for like a week, and it was like $500 or $800 or something like that. And this was going to be the one. You know, every new film is going to be the one. Now SVHS, I had heard that Roseanne, the TV show, was shot on SVHS. Blah blah blah. And it seemed like throughout my career, you always hear that. Here's the next biggest thing. Here's the newest thing. And it went from, when I had my VHS camcorder, I heard about, High 8. High 8's got higher resolution. Okay, so I saved up and I got my High 8 camera.
Right, I remember that.
And then for like 6 months later, there's the digital 8 now. Oh, this is even better.
Oh, wow.
Gotta go get that. So that, and it just kept on going.
Chasing the shiny camera.
Exactly. So it was, you got to get the Canon XL1 or then the Canon XL2.
Right.
And then, we got HD. You got to go to DSLRs now. And there's always that constant thing that it's,
Are you even speaking English right now? I know there's so much stuff.
So much jargon you got to know to sound like you know what you're talking about.
I know, right? Good thing you do. I've got a clue.
So, so here, the thing about that is, you have, SVHS was supposed to be this great thing. And now looking back on that footage, it's VHS, it's just as bad.
Yeah. I say it's bad. It's just no better.
Yeah. So, and I hadn't come as far as I had as a filmmaker. I was still figuring
You were
things
still new
out.
at it, man. You hadn't been doing it even like 10 years, man. You're still brand new.
But the funny thing is the, rewatching that recently, how much stayed from Blue Moon and evolved into the Innocence Saga.
Yeah.
There was the first Donovan. The first time we saw Donovan on camera. Within the Ponders universe, I don't really consider that movie part of the Ponders universe. Or still.
It was a training film, is the way we look at them now.
Yeah. There was supposed to be a love story between Stephanie and Scott. And my scheduling, I didn't get the scheduling right, or I intentionally didn't. I don't remember how that worked out.
Something
you were only available. So you guys came in first.
Yeah. And
then when I took you guys to the airport in Colorado Springs, Stephanie was coming in.
That's right. We met at the airport.
Yeah. So you crossed paths.
Hey, have fun with the film.
And then I had her for a week and I shot her stuff. And Jacob, I think, crisscrossed. He was in part of our stuff and part of Stephanie's stuff.
Oh, that's right.
Because remember, he was the historian.
Yeah, he was a historian.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
And that was one of the little things that didn't evolve into the Innocence Saga.
The historian?
The historians. Because I was a historian as well.
Right, you were. So much exposition. Mm-hmm. So much exposition. Well, because the thing you had been doing you've been writing these stories. God, I remember in high school reading some of your stories about, not as much, but not Donovan, but about the whole concept. Jack Hart was a character, and had been a character, and Mike Lorenzo was a character. The names were there. Maybe it wasn't necessarily, but it was always Jack and Diane, once again from a song. And but I remember just watching these characters evolve, and to keep seeing the same characters and hearing the same names. They've changed.
Yeah. Blue Moon really was
the beginning.
The real beginning of the Innocence Saga.
The axis from which it all sprang out.
Yeah. And it's funny to watch some of the dialogue that's almost...
There's a lot of it that's still there. I remember you did a thing one time talking with Dr. Fish, which was Ty, and Stephanie, who was Diane. and they were talking about she was given the phrase.
Think about it. We could take this to Daly Plaza and find out the mystery behind the Kennedy assassination. We could take it to Egypt and find out how they built the pyramids.
Oh, we could take it to LA and figure out how they got TJ Hooker on the air.
And Jax says almost the exact same thing.
Who cares about time travel? With this machine, we could see who really killed JFK. We could see how they built the pyramids. Depending on the range of this thing, we could even watch the Earth being created. Maybe even see the face of God. Prove his existence. Or lack thereof.
It was cool to hear it. It's been such a great ride watching and seeing all these characters and working so hard to get them where they're going. Anyway, I'm sorry.
So as a filmmaker, I didn't have any kind of budget whatsoever.
No.
At $800 or $500 that went into the camera was about all I had.
We flew ourselves to the thing.
So locations were a tough thing. So I just had to use what I had.
Right.
People's houses, and I came up like a couple locations short. So I actually moved in the middle of production because the scenes that you and Jack are in, or you and Scott are in my apartment in Littleton.
Right, in Littleton.
And then that's when I say, oh, yeah, by the way, you're going to help me move. And we moved to another apartment, and all the scenes that Diane and Ty are in my other apartment.
Right.
And because I needed a different location, so I just moved. But those were the days where I was moving every 6 months anyways.
I'd never done that.
Yeah.
And for anyone who's never moved in Denver, Colorado, going up and down stairs, you remember it's 6,000 feet above sea level. Hypoxia is a problem.
And it's January. It was snowing.
Oh, well, that wasn't as big of a problem as hauling all your crap up and down the stairs.
Well, and I remember when we got to the new apartment, I don't remember whether it was just because the door was always open or if there was a problem with the heater. But I had that coffee table, and it was just freezing for some reason. So we decided to basically destroy the coffee table, chop it up.
Oh, yeah!
Throw in the fireplace.
I forgot about that.
And we forgot about the lacquer. So we're all like...
How's the filming going? I don't know. Get the spiders off the walls, though. It's ruining the shot. Brett, is this your unicorn? What? Its name is Bill. He says he's your unicorn. I need him to get off my parking spot, please. Bill, get off the park! Yeah, we were high as kites, man. Cross-eyed and drooling, just staring out the window.
I kind of miss that coffee table, but it makes a great story. I just remember
love
us sitting
the
there with
stories.
the axe, just breaking up the coffee table.
Like, what is Brett doing? He's working out his aggressions. It'll be okay. Just don't make eye contact. It's all fine.
And that was one of the stories that the final product just made no sense because scheduling wasn't there. I couldn't shoot everything, and I was just killing people left and right because I ran out of time shooting with people.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can't shoot them anymore. We're just gonna do this. But it was a great time to improvise because I remember we had to tie up Scott.
Yeah.
He was captured, and I don't remember if we didn't have something. We didn't have rope, bungees. But I had Christmas lights.
Yeah, we didn't have We didn't have what we needed, or something was going on. But yeah, you had Christmas lights. So yeah, you tied up Scott McCroskey with Chris, and then it turned him on, which itself led to a hilarious scene. I really wish you'd put another scene like that in something. We have a little thing.
You're dead on the ground.
I'm
right
dead,
next to him.
But I've got the little.
Playing with
I'm playing with the lights, and so I'm making them do different things. And of course, we're all like, "Here's Scott McCroskey." By the way, Chief Warrant Officer 4, Scott McCroskey, who flew attack helicopters in the Army for 20-something years. So he's all tied up, and he's got these Christmas lights, and he's in this chair. And, of course, I'm on the ground going, click, click. And the rest of and everyone's sitting around just staring at Scott McCroskey going, oh, that one's nice.
The one where it goes through its little rotation of things, like it was doing.
That's good.
Ooh, that's nice, too. And Scott's like,
Get on with the scene, please.
Okay.
just...
And then, and he was hopped up on no-dos, too, because we had stayed up the whole night.
Oh, that's right.
So he's like, guys, I can bear it. So we gave him some no-dos, and he at one
And-
point he
and-
fell over.
And Dr. Pepper.
And Dr. Pepper.
And because who knew that was going to make such a memorable scene? I mean, who would have thought? I mean, some people maybe sit there, we should tie him up with Christmas lights. But I mean, everyone's like, well, we did tie the guy, or I'll tie the guy up. Well, now he's just tied up. But, we had the whole Christmas thing going on anyway. You tie him up with Christmas lights, and the lights are on, and he's just like, and it had that one scene where he's sitting there, he's like,
I can understand using them simply because they're the only thing here. But did you have to plug them in?
it's both comedic, and yet, he's in some jeopardy.
Well,
I
and
still laugh at that.
Scott was another good lesson to learn. Don't let your actors drink on set.
Do not do
Because
that.
there was the scene where he's supposed to be getting drunk, and I had a bottle of something, and he was actually taking.
Yeah,
some
you
shots
told
from
him
it.
to.
Did I tell him to?
You told him, go ahead and drink it, and he's
I
like,
think
okay.
he had to ask. I wouldn't have said go ahead. I wouldn't have directed him to do.
Well,
it.
he was just like, I think he was like, because he was like, do you want me to drink this? Or
And I
not?
probably at that point I probably said sure.
Sure, sure. And he's like, okay. But we had to do like 10 shots. So he's taken 10, whatever, brandy, I think it was, maybe?
It was probably amaretto.
Amaretto. I don't know my alcohols. Jeff doesn't drink, but I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, whatever it was, he had a bunch of it.
Gave proof, 42 proof, that if we still had a thingy.
But the funny thing is, once again, and credit to Scott McCroskey, he made it part of the. I mean, yeah, he was drunk, but he was the one where he was singing
the
national anthem.
Man, bunch of bombs blowing up in the air. I don't know. I wasn't there.
He was depressed about Diane. I think what it was.
Yeah. That was the love story that never
happened
because they never had the actors on the set at the
well.
same time. Of course, I know that never stopped me before.
You know what? And looking back on it, there's certain things you could actually take that movie, tighten up some scenes, change some of the things, actually establish or disestablish the love story, because it was actually very interesting. Being out in the thing, getting shot, dying, getting zorched back in time, and waking up, and then now you're becoming this alternate 40s universe where you're a bounty hunter. And it was the Serrano and the Dicer,
which was the beginnings of the Night Watchman.
And I love that story. I mean, because when I was reading the script, I was like, okay, well, typical, this new Brett Mauser movie. And then we enter the Serrano and the Dicer, and I'm like, that's new and different. and I was reading it, and it was because it was so different than what I'd seen before, where we're actually, to have bounty hunters was legal, and not like in 1800s westerns. I mean, in the 1940s/50s modern society, where things of course have gone different. Mm-hmm. But you had a Serrano and a Dicer, and you bring the guy, and for those of you who've never seen it, the concept was the Serrano was the investigator, judge and jury, and he was certified to do what he was doing. He was basically a lawyer and a judge. Mm-hmm. But was certified as a lawyer and a judge. The concept was he was a consummate legal professional. That was. I mean, it was above reproach for the most part. And then the Dicer, of course, was the hitman. And of course, they worked as a team and came out. And it was one of the more interesting things I'd ever seen. I loved it. I loved being a part of it too. Not just standing in the frozen water.
Entire thing yet? Here we go. Oh! Yeah, there you go.
Punch on Zach, had to do like several different times.
Punched Zach.
And he's like, "It's okay. I'm not going to hit him." He's like, "Dude, I'm not going to hit you. I'm not going to hit you."
That's how I actually got him.
Jumping back to how the scene where Jack and Frank go back in time they're getting shot. Two things I want to talk about how we basically strap magazines. Just paper magazines. I actually think I remember it was an issue of People that we strapped to your chest and stuck some M60s on.
Yeah.
And just lit them and
walked away.
And this all took place at a rest stop that was
truck stop.
A truck stop.
Way out in the middle of wherever it was.
And this was before if you watch Something About Mary, there's the gag about the gate truck stop. The truck stops being that movie hadn't come out yet. Nobody knew.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that those were hubs for
my exposure to the homosexual culture was somewhat limited up to that point. For those of you who don't know, I worked at Disney World for 7 months, And there are so many stories to be had. Catch me up sometime and I will tell you all about them. But yeah, the gay truck stop.
So here we are, and we don't have permits or anything like that.
No, we
just
had
show
nothing.
up.
We're just like, we're standing in the middle of this frozen field next to the truck stop. Just a bunch
and
of guys.
It was frozen. So we would shoot like 10 or 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Run inside because it had like a heated little area.
Right. As they do.
And ran in there, would warm up, go over lines, go back, get another 10 minutes, and we just do this back and forth.
Right.
Well, we're in there just chilling out at one point, and the phone rings.
The phone rings. And of course, me being who I am, I just pick up the phone. Hello? And it's a dude on the other end. He's like, hi, how are you? Like this. And I'm like, hi.
Hey, talk to me, big boy.
All right. And I went total RuPaul. I was just out of control,
Fun for just passing through? Baby, if you knew the size of my you'd pass a truck, alright?
Scott and I are listening into this guy. And he's like, what? I'm like, I don't know.
Big boy. A little boy who think he a big boy.
And of course, the rest of you were like, what the hell? And the other people in the thing didn't know us. They knew you. But they didn't know Scott and I. We've been on the ground in Colorado for less than 12 hours because we just arrived that day. And so here we are.
You touching a woman's body? Well, then why are you talking to me? Because I'm a woman touching a man's body. So that's how this works. I think.
And all because Brett Mauser wanted us to come down and make a movie. We're like, sure. And next thing I know, I'm talking to a gay trucker on a phone at a truck stop somewhere in Denver, Colorado at 2 o'clock in the morning in the middle of a blizzard because why not?
He's got it reversed. I think you got it reversed. But we kind of like reverse, don't we? Oh, reverse is great. Reverse is great position. Oh, you like it on reverse? You can reverse me anytime. You switch my gears anytime. Oh, you have no gears. I greased them last night, honey.
And people wonder why I'm so weird the way I am. I was like, you gotta understand some of the stuff I've gotten to do in my life.
Now, Tracy, honey, Tracy.
When you're broke and you have no money, that's where you have to do the craziest things to get things accomplished. Just insanity. And when it's not all primed and perfect and all planned and plotted out, everything goes wrong all at once. And especially when you've got
story of our lives.
Yeah, when you've got the drive like we do, when you raise the way we do, is we don't give up. It's like okay. The house is burning. It's on fire. How do we still get this shot? And
quick, stand over there. Yeah. We'll use the light. It'll be fine.
So it was always a matter of improvisation. What do we have at our disposal? How do we get this done? There was just no not doing it.
There was the idea that we couldn't do it never entered into our lexicon. It was no was not a word we could understand. It just. And I've said this over and over again. I joke about it, but tell us we can't do something, we're going to do it, and then rub it in your face the rest of your life that we did it when you said we couldn't.
Yeah.
Because it's just no, or you can't do it, or you shouldn't do it. Just isn't something we're going to listen to.
Yeah, and I'll say this about and you'll have your naysayers, and don't get me wrong, they have a point, but they're going to say, well, but look, it winds up being crap. It's not fully this. And it's like, yeah, no, they're right. I mean, you look at Blue Moon. It's one disaster after another, but look what it evolved into.
Right.
And I learned a lot. You learned a lot. Everybody learned as we were going.
Right.
So that when we were able to, get a little bit more money and a little bit more expertise into it, we had that knowledge and we had those. Looking at Blue Moon, we knew what worked and what didn't work.
Right.
We were able to look at the historians and go, well, that's just too convoluted.
Read this. It's a textbook of everything that's happened since 1860. It'll answer a lot of your questions.
Let me get the exposition in another way.
Right.
Show, don't tell. Let's figure this out a different way. And Blue Moon, this literal no budget, the SVHS short that we just or feature that we just made with friends on vacation and everything.
Right.
Evolved into a 10 feature film saga,
right.
which is now an ongoing saga.
Right.
That it's evolved into something, and without Blue Moon,
right,
there would be no Innocence Saga.
No. I consider it a training film, But at the time, we didn't think of it as a training film. This is because you can't look at a movie, well, this is just a training film.
Like I said, when I started out, the Blue Moon, this is going to be the one.
Right. You can look at it as a training film, but you didn't at the time look at it like, well, we're just getting better. That's not the point. You can't look at a movie that you're doing, any project that you're doing, and say, this is just for training. It may be, unless it's specifically that's what it's designed for. You have to look at it as a project that is meant to be the one.
Blue Moon is a perfect lesson for just get it done.
Just get it done.
When everything starts falling apart, don't walk away. Finish it.
Yeah.
And because you're going to learn from that experience.
Right. Like that, being in the military, doing contract work, flying, complete the mission. Everything's gone sideways. Complete the mission. Well, it's not going to be able to complete the mission, because completing the mission is what you need to do. Don't be that person who starts a bunch of things and never finishes. Even if it's not exactly the way you wanted it, even if it's not whatever, there will be other movies. You will make more stuff. This is it or nothing. Guys, there's more to there. You're going to make more. You're going to do more. If this is what you are, if this is what you do, there's going to be others. Just finish it. Yeah. Finish it. And be proud of what you've done.
Yeah, exactly. I can look back at a lot of those films and see that they're crap and they're no budget, but I'm proud of them all because there's at least one or two scenes in every.
And that's the point.
The Christmas lights.
The Christmas
lights. Love that stuff. So the point of it is whether you've got no locations, not enough actors start dropping out, you run out of locations. Don't stop the film. Just keep going. And I think what pushed me on was next time I'll do it better. Yeah. Even in the middle of Blue Moon, I'm like, okay, I'm already thinking, okay, this isn't working out. Next time is going to be the one. And next one was Return to Innocence, which we'll talk about next time. Hi, I'm Brett Mauser, and I wrote the book on how to make a movie with no money. And here it is. See, it's got pictures and everything. So head on over to our website, notsosane.com, and get your digital or paperback copy today.